Welcome to Isn't It Obvious, where things are obvious. That's going to be the intro.
You gonna do it, Micah? You gonna fucking ruin my intro? Or is that you, Phill?
That was me. I ruined your intro.
I mean, you usually do it by yourself well enough.
That's true. Fuck intros, man. Alright, welcome to Isn't It Obvious? I'm Sera, and there is Micah and Phill joining me. I have a topic. My topic is, isn't it obvious that surprise parties are a terrible idea?
Oh.
Terrible, terrible idea.
Only if you hate fun and don't have friends. Which means I absolutely hate surprise parties.
Sounds like you've never had someone throw you a surprise party before. No friends and no parties. No, just kidding.
So I don't know if you guys listen to a lot of Alan Watts. He's kind of like this 1970s sort of Eastern religious lecturer, and
he sounds familiar.
Not quite a philosophizer.
Well, I'm terrible at names, so it's possible I know him, but
he kind of has this thought experiment about okay, let's just say that you're basically able to control your sleep. So you're a lucid dreamer, and that anytime you go to bed, you can control every aspect of your dream. And one night's sleep is one lifetime of your perception of living. So then, kind of like Inception, but this is back in the 60s or 70s when he's talking about this. So the first times you do this, the first, couple of years you do this, you do all the things you think you would like to do in a sandbox open type of RPG game. But then if you continue to fast forward in this thought experiment, eventually you're going to get very bored. You're going to not want to have control. You're going to want to have a sense of danger or an element of mystery. And eventually you're going to start relinquishing as much control as possible so you can have the element of a good surprise. Because if you have absolute control and omnipresence about everything, you're never going to be able to surprise yourself with something nice. A person giving you a gift of something you like, oh, wow, I thank you for that wonderful gift of.
Nothing wrong with the surprise gift. I'm saying the party.
Well,
inviting all these people into your home to hide in the dark while you enter your home, and then suddenly having fucking, who knows, your friends and family jump out at you, scaring the fucking shit out of you. You aren't expecting there to be what if they're like a robber? What if you're weird and trigger happy and you carry a gun, and then suddenly some asshole jumps out at you and you're like, holy shit, and then you shoot your best friend in the face.
Well, that was deserved because you didn't have the proper trigger discipline in order to own that firearm.
Also,
that is true.
If you're able to shoot from the hip and then just react that way, I think the person that was shot would be nice shot from the hip.
Yeah, also probably shouldn't have done that probably should not have thrown a surprise party for crazy PTSD Tom or whatever.
Hey, he's been through a lot, but when he took that name onto his own, he really conquered his demons.
His therapist thought it was a bad idea.
Now I'm suddenly bad-mouthing people with post-traumatic stress disorder, and I apologize. That's really not.
Well, it really explains how you voted for Trump,
Okay.
I never.
You like soldiers that aren't dealing with psychological disorders because they were put into hellish landscapes with something that humans weren't supposed to take.
I do apologize.
I am reeling this back in. Editor, notice at minute 4. Second 19. No, here's my thought, is that isn't a surprise party just an evolved version of a surprised gift? So the surprise party is a Raichu, and the gift is a Pikachu. It's just a better, more evolved version of this thing.
Especially as an adult situation where it's hard enough to find time to actually hang out with your friends, and excluding the current situation, that type of pre-pandemic organization was a tough thing to really anchor on. You have to plan for weeks, potentially months ahead of time in order to get this around. I think a surprise party in adulthood is more a testament to the planning and kind of subtlety of your partner than the actual just horrifying, and then all of a sudden all these people in your life. Because it was something
not that I'm married or ever am planning to be, but if my partner decided to throw me a surprise party, I would divorce them immediately.
Well, that seems harsh. You could have had a very fun time.
So I have to interject for this story here. Where...
Anecdote.
Okay, so there's this coworker of mine in my past life, and we talked about board games and stuff like this, and his wife ended up texting one of his another coworker friend of ours, and then to me as well, being like, hey, what are you guys doing this Saturday, the 28th or whatever? I'm hosting a surprise party for my husband, and I would like you guys to attend because, you know, you're good coworker friends. And we're like, yeah, sure, why not, you know? And so we went there, and we thought it was just going to be like a few people or whatnot. And it was his whole family from Iowa. It was like a lot of people. I mean, it was like the whole block was like filled with cars. And like,
well, that's not a surprise.
And I was
point.
like, I had like a game of like Sushi Go. Like that was my gift to him. And it was like all these people had these elaborate gifts. And then they went to the living room. And like Christmas, they put a pile of gifts. And all of these loving family members of his were all like just chatting and talking. And they're really hospitable. And, you know, they made this whole like fake out day for him, so he had no idea, and he came in from the back for some reason. He's like, why do I have to go and do this thing? You want me to like move the wheelbarrow? That doesn't make sense. And then he finally sees it, and we all yell surprise, and he's like, I can't believe this is happening, and he seemed really happy about it. And I was like, holy, like the fucking logistics of managing this is just beyond my brain to be like, wow, his whole like. And then like they had cake and everything, like it was like a sitcom but without like the laugh track, and there was no like challenge to this. It was just like, and like my coworker and I were just looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are all these people so happy and they're all functional? Like, no one's like,
Is
like
this
how
what
dare
loving family is supposed to be?
Some families,
Yeah.
some families go like all out. They pull out all the stops. And I think those are the type of people who like doing that. I'm from a totally different walk of life. I don't have enough fucking energy to put up with that garbage. It's too much, and it's exhausting. I had neighbors who would want to do like these elaborate like get-togethers with gifts and cake, and like it was, you know, like they'd pull out all the stops kind of thing. And then there was this expectation of reciprocation, and we're just kind of like, no thanks.
I'm actually more against gift giving than I am about surprise parties. Because, like, as I get older, I feel like surprise parties are just kind of fun. And it also is a testament to someone's ability to not only just organize a party, but, like, your friends are there. They're going to drop what they were doing that day to join in this crazy harebrained schemed idea to be. And let's all say surprised. You know, like, it doesn't make any sense, but it has its own charm this way. Also, I would fucking hate surprise parties. Would never, like, editor, no, this is off the veto immediately.
So what you're saying is I need to talk to the editor and...
No, this is an absolutely terrible idea.
Not sure when our audience
isn't
will
it
be
terrible?
listening to this. Possibly never. But, Phil, I have some bad news in about 6 days.
Okay, there's like 5 things I can think about, but I'm going to stop myself. But
no, for reals though, they're a terrible idea.
But I feel like gift giving, like the idea of expectations, is much worse, right? Because a surprise party.
I would take a supply party.
Supply
At least
party
then
would
the
be
gifts
fun.
are useful.
Right, like stationery and lots of pens and paper.
Pens, paper, little
origami
books.
paper
I
is
love
the
little
best.
books.
But no, I think like gifts are way worse than surprise parties because there's like an expectation of surprise party usually going just once, and that you kind of do that maybe every 5 or 10 years. Like you're not gonna do this every year.
True, because then it won't be a surprise anymore. You're just that's the expectation. You're like, oh, for me?
Yeah, it's like, oh, thanks, guys. I feel like
I really just wanted to go and sit down in my PJs and chill out for the rest of the day, but I guess I have to put up with this bullshit again. Not the way I wanted to spend my Saturday.
But don't you see, Sarah? Your birthday was on a Thursday and we're celebrating on a Saturday as a surprise.
I wanted to just, be gross and not shower and sleep in and not leave the house for 2 days. That's what I wanted to do.
I feel like the surprise party, even though it's not what you want to do, is an upgrade to this. Like just to break it.
You clearly
break the combo.
Don't enjoy your weekends to the fullest.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I'm judging. No.
Go ahead, judge all you want. I have the best weekends.
Okay, I will say gift giving is total BS because it's asymmetric by its definition, right? Like you can never match gift by gift. That's crazy, and that's not the intent. But at the same time, there's this kind of a dead weight to it. Like you don't really know what the other person is going to want, and if they did know what they want, they would just typically get it for themselves. So like if you get it for the hobby that they have, you're going to get the wrong thing. And also, part of a hobby is also enjoying the thing you're going to get for that hobby, right? Like, there's this whole ritual that people kind of go through in order to get the thing that they would want. They compare things like prices to value and what future-proofing they could do. All I'm just saying is that I really am terrible at giving people gifts, so therefore I fucking hate it.
Also hate it. And I never really thought about the, like, it's always going to be unbalanced, but I think that's part of the reason why I also don't like it, is because I always feel like my gifts are never going to be as good as the gifts I receive. Then I'm always feeling like I'm in like this weird gray area of sort of debt that I can't reciprocate equally, and that bothers me. I don't need to tally my interactions with people to the nth tally or whatever. I can just give it a roundabout, but there's something about gifts, a physical reminder of, yeah, I got that really nice thing from that one person and didn't get them a good enough thing back, and that's always going to stare me in the face, always. And I can never quite make up for that. And it drives me
that's
so
what next
crazy.
year's gift is for.
No, because my gifts always suck. What do you get a person who's like freaking Ariel and has everything? Like, she's
I understand this
the
reference.
freaking Disney Princess Mermaid who's just got everything.
A potato.
And anything that she wants, she can just buy for herself. I'm looking at you, Mom.
Also, love me, Mom.
She loves getting gifts and she likes being surprised. And this is like a no-win situation for me because her and I have no similar tastes, and I have a hard time figuring out like what she might want. And if I get a gift, I like it to be useful. I don't like knickknacks, and I don't think she does either. Pretty sure she doesn't.
A potato.
Then again, she has some. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Why would I get her a potato? She has potatoes.
But she doesn't have a potato
cucumbers.
from you.
Mm-hmm.
But she grows her own.
Doesn't matter. It's a potato from you.
Yeah,
it's a
and did you
gift
tell
that has utility and is also a metaphor for your friendship.
She would open
that
it up,
even in
look at it.
a dark,
She would
closed.
No, I would wrap it in. No, I would wrap it in foil, and then I would put it in a little box with a bow. I'd give it to her. She'd look at it after unwrapping the foil, and she'd look at it, and she'd smile at me, and she'd say thanks. But I would see the disappointment in her eyes.
Did you include the fork for you to provide air holes in that beautiful pre-baked potato?
I would pre-aerate it.
So my brother,
take out all the work.
he gives me the best gifts, which is every Christmas he would, and for my birthday, he would wrap Mountain Dew in just newspaper. And if there was a bow that he saved or took from another present, he would take it. And he would just slap it on there, and he was like, here is your Christmas gift. And I always look forward to it because I don't really go out of my way to buy that type of drink. And it's my childhood drink, which is terrible because it's just Code Red Mountain Dew. Nostalgia.
Yep.
And it's something I look forward to every year because I know that he'll give me one. And I'm just like, this is the best gift ever. Like, just a simple can. It does everything for me. It's nostalgia. It's kind of, we had this repertoire, and it's a simple gift. And also, you know, it means that he has have some effort to think of me to do this, even though it's extremely low effort.
Low effort, but that's like it's a family meme.
Yes.
So you both understand the importance of it.
Yes.
As the gesture that it is.
It's like every Christmas, the loudest gift
Like
that gets any cheers when we have our Christmas Eve gift giving is my mom goes out and gets socks. So every Christmas,
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
I would
everybody
That
has
is
a
They better be
small
nice socks.
open gift that is probably poorly taped, and you can just see the socks. But yet, everyone at different
Kinda-
times like really staggers them. It's like if you do socks in the same turn, you've done a faux pas on my family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So everybody kind of like the first one's just like, and I got socks. Act sad. Everybody's like socks.
You have to, yeah.
What kind of socks? That's the real important
Are
No.
they
part.
Christmas
What-
socks?
No, they're functional socks you wear through. I haven't bought socks in like a decade.
Yeah.
No, but are they nice, like wool thick warm socks, or are they the shitty, like, but also really adorable, like $1.50 Target socks that are like thin but still pretty comfy and last for 2 years maybe if you're lucky?
I do like those Target socks because they're like, yeah,
They're so cute.
Yeah.
It's more just
Adorable.
functional. Whatever 6 or 8 packs could be purchased
Oh, those are good.
of the preferred style
They're
of
fair.
the
Yes.
recipient.
Utilitarian socks.
I don't know. I've lately been weirdly into socks. Nice, big, fluffy, woolly ones that are just super warm because my feet are always cold and I have absolutely no circulation and I just am always cold. At least my fingers and toes are. Hiking socks are the best. Smart wool is great, but I also like Darn Tough is awesome. Alaskan knits you can get that are really cheap at Target, which are super nice and comfy and warm. But anyway, yes. have gone down the sock hole, I guess.
No,
I
you
don't-
never want to go down the sock hole.
Okay.
I gave the editor Christmas socks for Christmas, and it was a very particular smart wool one from REI. And so I drove there like 2 weeks before Christmas because I'm terrible at planning and buying things. And I brought my 2 kids with me, screaming and totally upset that they have to go to this mall. And I get there and it's jam fucking packed with idiots like me looking for something for their wife. And I finally get to the corner where I can get goddamn these wool socks, and there was 2 kinds. There were these short ones that were like made out of wool, and there was this other short one, but it's a different brand. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to double my chances. And they're like really expensive at REI because they're making like a gazillion dollars. So I went ahead and bought these fucking socks for the price of a video game I would rather buy for myself. But anyway, I go to the clerk and I'm like, I want to buy these socks. Or these are not on sale. I was like, fuck you. Put them in the bag, go home, wrap them up. I'm excited to see the editor's face when she opens this package up. And she opens it up and is like, these are the wrong socks. They're too short. Like, they need to be longer because, like, it rides too
socks.
low. Like, these are the wrong socks. And I'm like, you might not want to open your other gift because it's the same fucking sock, but from a different brand. Oh, it was the worst.
Well, you never go with the IER brand.
That's the mistake.
You never go with the IER brand.
Actually, but the REI brand is
Exactly.
actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I have 2 like hiking socks that I got from there. REI definitely makes a better sock, just a more comfortable sock. Just saying. Than the other brand, which was good, but and I won't name it because I don't want to offend any
Manufacturer.
sock connoisseurs. But
Screw sock connoisseurs. This is more about our lovely, lovely sponsors. Brought to you by IER Socks.
Yeah.
The holes are for aeration.
ear, or is it ear? I don't know.
Speed holes.
Beetles.
Sorry.
What?
Okay, see, these are
Did
the
you say
problems
that
I have
thing?
with...
Speedles?
No, like speed holes.
Speed holes.
Speed.
I'm sorry.
I heard beetles.
Speed holes. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not something you want to Google.
You're right. I'm not gonna Google it. I'm sure even if this was an innocent phrase, it could be turned around.
It's the internet. Not only has it been turned around, there's a whole subset of the internet that is devoted to that.
Probably there's a whole, we'll call it subset.
There's something odd about, like, I have all these references from The Simpsons. In this case, it's where Homer wants to buy a car, and someone's trying to assassinate Homer, and, like, he keeps missing, and is shooting the car, and so the car has all these holes in it. And then the salesman is like, would you like to buy this car? And Homer is like, why are these holes in the car? And he's like, oh, those are speed holes. And he's like, I'll buy it. Like, I make these stupid references with my friends back in the day, and then they would just kind of like, 'cause that's all we watched. It wasn't the internet back then. It's just fucking Simpsons. But the problem is that no one understands my stupid Simpson references because I stopped after season 5, or season 8, really.
Yeah,
And
as soon
after
as
that, it's like
Conan O'Brien leaves, you're fine.
Monorail.
Monorail.
Okay.
Monorail.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really liked watching The Simpsons. It was funny. Like, I could listen. Before you jump down my throat. I'm not saying it was a bad show. I did enjoy it when I did watch it. I just could only watch like 2 or 3 episodes at a time. Max.
Do declare.
I don't know. I just don't really like sitcoms that much. Like, they're not bad. I just get bored really fast, and then I get over it.
Yeah, but The Simpsons is like the ultimate sitcom because they have no rules that they can't break.
That's part of what. That's why I like animation better, like animated
So
stories like that, or animated sitcoms better than live action sitcoms, because you can do more with more shenanigans with animation. But yeah, they're not
how
my
do you
favorite.
not like 4-fingered families that suffer from severe jaundice?
So, based off the statement, you don't like any, like, you generally prefer no sitcoms then?
Generally, yeah, I'm not really a fan.
So, like, The Office or Parks and Rec?
No.
30 Rock?
No.
Like,
Shit's
No.
Creek.
Frasier?
I still haven't watched the next couple episodes, despite your saying it gets better by episode 4. I just can't make myself
Yu
do
Yu
it.
Hakusho. How
It's
is that not a sitcom?
But it's just not a sitcom.
How is it not a sitcom?
Wait, Yu Yu
Why do you always
Hakusho
bring up
is
Yu Yu
not a
Hakusho?
sitcom.
Like,
That
I don't
is-
even, like...
What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why I always bring up Yu Yu Hakusho. The fact of the matter is, it's a
Sounds
sitcom.
like you really liked. I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho was like a major turning point or whatever in your like adolescence. Like, it was like a key show for you that just really formulated your youth.
No, not at all.
Simpsons.
Define who you are as a person.
It turned me off from a lot of Toonami stuff until they stopped airing it, and then they just played Dragon Ball Z because that was a way better show for an American youth's audience.
It was. I could have done without all the screaming, but it wasn't.
How else are they going to pad out 8 episodes of the same fight?
I know.
So here's the thing. I never watched Dragon Ball Z because I thought it was really stupid.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought it was like, and stay tuned for next episode. Will he fight? Like, I felt like even as a kid.
3 episodes later, same
right,
thing.
I thought it was
Same
too
scene,
ridiculous and
basically.
over the top.
The original airing of Frieza's bit on Namek is so funny. He is charging that spirit bomb for 10 episodes.
Yeah. I remember it took 2 weeks to get through that.
That was
whole
just the
bit,
phase
and,
3
like,
fight.
I
wasn't even final
I
form.
was so disappointed. At the end of the first week, I'm like, why am I even watching this? I can't do this. I can't just sit here and wait for
But then the
this
second week rolls
arc to
around and
end.
Krillin dies, and you're like, I'm reinvested.
But I wasn't, because I didn't really care about him.
What?
Because no one did.
I
It wasn't-
did.
Well, you and like 5 other people in existence, but
There are literally a dozen of us.
Yeah,
dozens
well,
of
we all
Krillin
meet
fans out there.
Every August 18th, because that's Krillin Day. Don't ask me why.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no other holidays in August.
We all put on our bald caps with the 6 dots.
Yeah, there's just better shows to watch with better characters and faster, better pace.
They did
Story.
re-edit that where DragonAll Z was 100 episodes.
Yeah,
And it is
I heard that.
so mind-blowingly fast. It's just from thing to thing to thing because you don't have 8 episodes of filler.
Oh,
It's very fun.
I feel like these shows are just, not to get too like sidetracky, even though we are.
But not a sitcom.
Okay. So they remastered one of my favorite nostalgic games recently, and
Crash Bandicoot.
I gave it a...
I loved that game.
Well, okay. See, like, if you try it again as an adult, it just doesn't hold up. There's too many, like, quality of life non-improvements that are shown back in the days of, like, 1997, right? Like, this just doesn't add to a good experience because games now are just way better.
So you're saying that if I take a F-Zero 3-track style racing game and merge that with a Mario style platformer, but have it with hardware that doesn't really register the
Half the
third
audience
dimension
just
so
tuned
great,
out.
that it might not be the greatest game if you're not an impressionable youth?
I feel like impressionable youth are way more fucking forgiving than non-impressionable
that's the only reason why
adults.
Crash Bandicoot had 3 title games and 2 racing games.
Oh, God.
Well, it only needed the 3 games. That's all it was.
yeah.
It's the same
It's a
type
racing
of game. It's like there's nothing.
And they just released a 4th game.
Yeah. They're trying
Well,
to,
they
like,
really probably
cash
didn't
out
need
the
to.
nostalgism. And not just, like,
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot series, but, like, pretty much all of the IP that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I try it, and it just falls
Doesn't hold
really flat. As a kid, when I was playing these games, I was always surprised that the grown-ups didn't play them because they're so amazing and fun. And now, as a balding guy that has a pot belly and I'm playing these games, I'm like, oh wait, these are not actually that fun. They're just frustrating. No one wants to replay this entire scheme from A to Z just because a ball dropped or something like that, right? Like, and then you have to restart all the way over in the back because it was game over. Like, these type of mechanisms worked fine for, like, perhaps a kid that had nothing to do.
Hours and hours of free
Right.
time to just waste.
Well, because at the
But then at the-
advent of the internet, the educational system in America didn't know what the fuck to do to all of human knowledge being accessible by most of their kids.
So, what old games hold up then?
In this case, it was Mario 64.
I disagree.
Okay,
That-
you're wrong, but
No,
continue.
that 3D
You're wrong.
that 3D
Mario
movement
64 is
schema
great.
that does not hold up. And how you don't have a tangible, controllable camera also does not hold up. Those are 2 infuriating aspects of that game that are still plaguing 3D games to this day.
I completely agree with you. I think I should have made my point more succinct, which is...
But if you said GoldenEye, then it'd be great, because GoldenEye is still the best first-person shooter ever.
I think you are just too invested in the James Bond everything
First of
right
all,
now.
you're wrong. It's Halo. And second of all, it's
No,
not
no.
Halo. You're wrong.
You guys
Third
are
of all,
all
you're
wrong.
wrong. It's Pitch Black.
No, I like
because Pitch Black was the
no,
GoldenEye programming with a non-James Bond skin.
Are you talking about Perfect Zero?
maybe that's what it was.
Or
Isn't
I
it
don't
Perfect
remember.
Dark?
My cousin had it.
oh shit, it's Perfect,
Perfect Dark.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect Dark. That's what
See,
it
that's
is.
how much I know about this like great game versus.
No, but you know what? You're all wrong. The real
Metroid Zero?
good.
Perfect Dark Zero?
No, No, get out of here.
Zero
No, the
Dark?
real
Anyway, listeners, you tell them.
video game. No, the real video game that is held up is fucking the original Zelda from the NES, the gold one, the first one. That one
I also
was
disagree.
That was a great game, and I would play that. I still would play
I
that.
feel if you played Ocarina of
Find
Time,
people and
you
do
would
it.
have more fun.
No.
All right.
That
I have
game was
played-
trash
I have played both of these,
No,
and
no.
both of them are great. I like, but honestly, I still like the original Zelda 8-bit on the NES the best.
Yeah, the moment you play like A Link to the Past, you can already kind of see the gears working. It's not really open sandbox. It's just and now
But
you
original
get
Zelda
this
wasn't an
thing.
open sandbox.
The original Zelda was not an open sandbox, but it had the illusion.
It had some fucking weird ass challenges that you're like, yeah, like there was that section where you like would go up
Mhm.
and it would just repeat itself endlessly
Yep.
until you figured out that you had to go like up a few and then down
That's
one.
the southwest section.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's another section, like if you YouTube like the game development of The Legend of Zelda, they purposely made different parts of the map very difficult so that you would just naturally not want to go there because you died too often. So like even though you could technically go there, it was like they didn't create a great disincentive for you to go to explore because you're just going to get your ass kicked. And they called the illusion of choice because it really isn't a choice for you to be able to go there anyway because you're not allowed to go there because you just die. But it doesn't seem like a cheap death. The game Legend of Zelda for me is way more, gives you the sense of exploration and like, oh wow, I'm really making these choices myself even though you aren't. Way more compared to Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past.
But how does that
Majora's
fit
Yeah,
Mask.
because
square
they're,
with
they're
like
totally
GTA?
leading.
GTA is way, that's a
That's
good,
a sandbox.
Yeah,
though.
that's
That's
good.
actually a
Yeah,
sandbox.
that's actually, well done.
But I also don't play it. Like I don't like that game. So
Well, the problem with GTA,
There you
in
go.
my opinion, like GTA 3, right? Because GTA 1 and 2 are not even discussed unless you were that kind of person who talked about those games.
I mean, if you want to talk about those games.
Okay, I like to talk about those games. GTA 1 was great.
Yes, it
because
was.
it was ridiculous. GTA 2, I couldn't play it because my computer wasn't strong.
And don't forget 1969.
rough days.
Yep.
The
Okay,
unofficial
and
GTA 3.
Then GTA 3, sandbox as it was, it doesn't fucking hold up. It's simply because there's a much better version out there.
So
like,
you're
the
saying there
difference
isn't a better... What about Dark Souls in terms of that exploration? Not actually holding you off from exploring different areas, but artificially holding you off due to its difficulty.
Yeah, I find with...
Skyrim's better.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I agree with
They did it
those
better.
comments too. Like, I like the idea of Dark Souls. I think Skyrim is better. But with
Skyrim is
Legend of Zelda...
type of game mechanically, though. If it's...
Yes, that's what I mean. Skyrim
Yeah,
was
it's
better
okay.
because
So it was a different
I'm
game.
gonna murder you in the first fucking.
So is
No,
Mario
just
Kart.
Dark Souls.
Like, all statements are true here.
Yeah, all right. All right.
I would say that for Legend of Zelda, it has two elements for it that's really good. One is that it's just still fun to play, but also it has a huge nostalgic factor to it. Whereas GTA 3 is too close to GTA 5, right? Just two numbers
absolutely.
away.
It's like 14 years apart.
I know. Like, that's the problem as well. Like, it shouldn't be that close. The fact that Rockstar is just counting their money without actually developing a new goddamn game, with the exception of RDR2. GTA 5 is going to be on 3 consoles in a row.
And it was...
How many shots have we fired here? Anyway.
And it was made when Obama was still president. It was released at the beginning of Obama's second term. So it was released in 13. And it's still going... It started on Gen, 6? Because we're currently on Gen 7 for consoles.
Something like
So it will span 3 generations of games as the same game. That's unheard of.
Disappointing.
No, it isn't. That
like-
shows how great that game is.
No, it shows how, like, microtransactions are now the new way of making money.
But if those
Yeah.
microtransactions give you new content, legitimate content, as the GTAs do, unlike other
I don't
ones
think
that's
that-
like a character.
I don't think they do, because the problem is that I think Rockstar is making $1 million a day on just microtransactions alone on GTA 5. And the content they're adding is not storyline or a new city or anything like this. Like, people are legitimately wanting a GTA 6.
But it's
Like,
like
they want to
it's
see
new
something
Legos to their their sandbox kit.
Yeah, new Legos to a sandbox kit is...
That's a terrible metaphor. Sorry.
But it's not...
But
Let it
But
slide.
it's like if Minecraft released a different colored skin for certain things.
Where they do that, but that's not Minecraft official. There's like
Mods.
just other
Right.
people mod
So,
it.
but do those mods work 100% of the time
But I will say,
with Minecraft?
No.
I have no idea. I don't usually use them, but some of them are really, really quite pretty. I do know though Minecraft does have these micro transitions. Like there's new blocks that they add every once in a while that do new things. Originally they didn't have like
Goldstones and redstone.
yeah, there's like they didn't have redstone, or they didn't have like, now you can like get these like wings or gliders so you can kind of fly when you're not in creative mode, which is kind of neat. So those are new. All these different colored glasses and other colored terracotta tile stones and all these new materials. So they keep adding stuff to it, but they keep updating the game you bought. You're only paying for it once. They just give you more stuff. Just give you more content to work with because they want you to keep playing, I guess.
There are no other microtransactions.
I honestly don't know how they keep making
Well, they keep porting to
I
different
honestly don't.
avenues that are repurchased. Pretty soon there'll be like a Minecraft channel, like an app you'll be able to download
Well, I know
and do shit on your smart TV.
I do know they do like paid servers. You can pay to host like a server and you can invite your friends to play with you in the same world. So that they'll make money on. But if you just buy the game, then just pay for that once and you get all of the extra content as it comes out. I suppose that's a different thing.
Well, since we're finishing our second half of the episode.
Same with Stardew Valley. Best fucking game ever.
And on that note, we're ending it. Thanks, Mom. Good night.
Thanks, Mom. Bye.
Micah, you're just the worst. All right, thanks, Mom.